Dear friends, good evening and namaste. Today, I love to share some of the spiritual knowledge practices which I acquired by being at the feet of my spiritual master. So, let us now try to understand about what is that we have to do so that our consciousness expands and we will be able to perform better in our life in all walks of our existence. See, when we say consciousness, so what is that consciousness? See, everyone has consciousness. An ant, an elephant, a human being, a small child, a normal person, and a saintly person, and the divine ultimate. So, only the degree varies from most minuscule finite consciousness to the ultimate absolute consciousness. And evolving from one consciousness to the ultimate consciousness, we call it as spiritual yatra or a journey. Now, how to enhance this spiritual consciousness? To enhance this consciousness, many of our spiritual masters, they have given different types of techniques and methods. By using those methods, we are able to evolve spiritually. Now, we all might have heard the name Patanjali. Patanjali Maharshi, about thousands of years back, he has given a special method by name Ashtanga Yoga Paddhati. That is, there are 8 limbs, 8 steps of practice which you, if you are able to regularly practice, you will evolve to the higher consciousness and reap the benefit of spiritual evolution. So, what this Ashtanga Yoga Paddhati constituents? So, there are 8 techniques, 8 steps. So, we can call it them as limbs or steps. It starts like this: Yama, Niyama, Asana, Pranayama, Pratyahara, Dharana, Dhyana, Samadhi. Let us try to understand what these words mean to us. Yama. Yama, it's nothing but abstinence from unwanted things. Whatever is unwanted for our evolution, we have to abstain from it. It's what we call it as an external discipline. So, what do we mean by external discipline? That is, we have to be non-violent. We should not steal. We should not tell untruth. We should be practicing brahmacharya in our life. And we should not have possessiveness. So, these are the qualities we have to enhance in our life. That is Yama. Niyama, they are the internal disciplines. So, what we mean by internal disciplines? That is purity of mind, purity of thought, contentment, self-discipline, study of Vedas. So, contemplation on the highest, ultimate, that is God. So, these are all the basic requirements of Niyama. Asana, it's very well defined as sthira sukha, which makes you to sit, what we can say, comfortably for a long period of time. We should be able to sit steadily, comfortably for a particular duration of a time for our meditation practice. This is what we call it as asana. Now, pranayama. Pranayama is nothing but breathing in, breathing out. So it is a breathing practice which makes you are able to breathe without any disturbance during meditation period for a long duration. So that is pranayama. Then comes pratyahara. So pratyahara means withdrawal from sensory. Withdrawal from sensory organs. What it means? See, the eyes, the ear, the nose, all these 5 sensory organs always interested, to see, to hear, and you have to withdraw from. You should be able to have a control over them, and that should not have a control over you. So the practice of bringing control over the sensory organs is a pratyahara. Then comes dharana. Dharana means one-pointedness, concentration, focusing, being with the purpose for which we are going to sit for meditation. This is the dharana. Then dhyana. Dhyana is nothing but a pure meditation. And samadhi. Adi. Adi means original state, a first state of a condition when the creation started. So being with that original state of a condition, or being with the ultimate state of a condition, losing one's own identity during meditation is known as samadhi. So these are the 8 steps which were given to us for our spiritual evolution. So we call it as Ashtanga Yoga Paddhati. So now, word yoga. What the meaning of yoga means? Yoga means union with ultimate. The purpose of yoga is to make each and every one of us to become one with that ultimate consciousness. So we hear Krishna's consciousness. So why we say Krishna's consciousness? His consciousness was ultimate. And when we are with him and forget ourselves and we become one with his consciousness. So now let us understand why these techniques are very much needed. So why this is needed? If we are able to discipline, then we are able to, have a healthy body, healthy mind. So healthy body is required to sit for a longer duration. Healthy mind is required. The power of concentration is required. Willpower is required. When all these things we acquire, then we will become a better equipment to use ourselves for our evolution. So now, among all these 8, so let us more focus on what we call it as dhyana. Why dhyana is the primary most important? All other 6 steps to help dhyana to progress without any disturbance. That is the purpose why all other steps are there. Simultaneously we have to practice. Otherwise, if you try to take each one and you take years together for that, then there is no time limit for us. So simultaneously we have to practice all these things, and then we have to do meditation. Dhyana means meditation. So we can say meditation means continuous thinking. So what we understand by continuous thinking? Sir, we are always thinking. No, sir. Yes, you do think. But what you think? Sometimes about your office, sometimes about your family, sometimes about your future, sometimes about your. So there is no consistency. There is no, continuous chain of thoughts on one direction is not there. So it is not a continuous thinking. So another thing is like thinking and what we normally do, there is a lot of variation. So what we do normally is there is a stored information which is available in us as a logical inputs, and we try to use that and in different directions, and we think that we are thinking. Thinking means actually it is something to think on an unknown. I know nothing about it, but I use God given mental faculty, try to know an unknown. So normally here an object of meditation, we take the God or the supreme or the highest consciousness as an unknown. Now what we try to do is we put a thought that unknown as a divine light is present in our heart. A unknown. So you can call him as a divine light. You can call it as Devi Prem, divine love, which makes you more comfortable to gel with. And what we try to do is we try to go deeper into it, contemplate on it, and try to forget ourselves in this process. So this is known as meditation. See, like to clarity of understanding purpose, let us see that you are looking at a universe and try to see the sun, and in the sun you try to see all the directions of sun and the planets, the earth, everything. But that is what we call it as. So when you start thinking on the planets, the earth, the sun, his rays, everything, that is not known as a meditation. But if you catch over the brightness of the sun and continuously think over it, so how that brightness is coming, from where it is coming, and that is known as what we call it as a meditation. So meditation is considered as the best medication, and each and every one of us very much required meditation for our overall welfare and growth. So it is a very vast subject. Let me take it this in my next series of talks and try to understand so what is the meditation and how it has to be done, how we have to reap the benefit of it and raise the level of ultimate consciousness so that I, you, and everyone in the society reaps the benefit and evolve spiritually. Thank you very much. So for providing this opportunity of addressing to you all, and I thank my spiritual master for giving this knowledge to share with you all for all our welfare. Thank you very much. Bye.